Hi dear students, you are welcome in this video. Dear students, in this video we are going to talk about a new term in literature, antithesis. First we will discuss about the very word antithesis, from where it came and for the first time when it did use. Then we will talk about its meaning, definition, and I will give you some solid examples to understand. So let's start with the video based on antithesis. What is antithesis as a figure of speech? So here, dear students, #8 literary terms, antithesis, and you are watching literature simply. Here, very first, the word antithesis. Antithesis is a figure of speech. If you look at this word, you will understand this is a figure of speech, and many times it is used in poetry. Many times it is used in prose too. So you have antithetical statements, antithetical lines, antithetical sentences in prose or in poetry. So the first known use of the word is traced in 1529, and this word is derived from Greek word called antitetheni. Means anti means oppose, and tetheni means set, meaning opposition. So this is the word of the meaning of the word called antithesis. Now this word is used to show contrast of ideas by means of parallel arrangement of words or clauses or sentences. And here we have example: action not words, or second example, they promised freedom and provided slavery. So this is the very simple meaning of the word antithesis. It is the contrast or opposition in ideas, in sentences, or in philosophy. And you have its example. For example, we have uh, they promised freedom but provided slavery. Means freedom and slavery had antithetical words or opposite words or contrasted ideas. Freedom and slavery are different ideas, means these are contrasted ideas. So this is the very simple use and meaning of the word antithesis. Now let's understand the definition of the word antithesis. And here this definition is borrowed from Chris Baldick's Oxford Dictionary of Literary Terms. And here, a contrast or opposition, either rhetorical or philosophical. In rhetoric, any disposition of words that serves to emphasize a contrast or opposition of ideas, usually by the balancing of connected clauses with parallel grammatical constructions. Now if you look at this definition, or it's a very simple definition, you will understand the meaning. So what is the meaning? It's very simple. It is the contrast of ideas, and it is used not only as idea but in philosophy too. This antithesis is used, or antithetical statements are used. We will discuss the examples so that you will get clear idea about this antithesis. Here just you remember, antithesis is nothing but the opposition or contrast. Anti means oppose or contrast. Now which words are important in this definition? Here you have a contrast of or opposition, second a contrast or opposition of ideas, and third parallel grammatical constructions. Now you see here, opposition of ideas or opposite ideas, and these are occurred in parallel grammatical structures. Means these are stated through the words, these are stated through the grammatical structures, or the use of language in language or sentences. You find this kind of sentence, contrasted sentences, means there is a set pattern or parallel of grammatical structures. Next definition we have from M.H. Abrams and Geoffrey Hapham, a handbook of literary terms. Antithesis is a contrast or opposition in meanings of contiguous phrases or clauses that manifest parallelism, that is a similar word order and structure in their syntax. Again, this is a very simple definition. Antithesis is nothing but, again, opposition and contrast. And important phrases or words in this definition are: here you see a contrast or opposition, again the same, contiguous phrases or clauses, a similar word order and structure. Now you see this contrast in syntax. You see this contrast used in sentences to show the opposite sides, to show the contrast of ideas. This occurs in contiguous phrases or clauses, and this is a part of a language. This is a part of sentences or structures, because here syntax also is important. Means the structure of that sentence. In the, if the sentence have two sides, in the first side the contrasted idea shown, or in the second side the same idea is shown. For example, again we have the same example, that is they promised freedom and provided slavery. So they promised freedom, this is one part, or this is the single idea. And next we have, you have second idea, that is slavery, means freedom and slavery are contrasted, and this is stated through a sentence, this is stated through a statement, grammatical structure, a syntax. Now, dear students, if you look at the literature and find different types of poets, you have Alexander Pope was considered the master of antithesis, and he used this antithesis in many of his works. We have selected here some examples. So he was master of using this antithesis, means he was conveying the ideas through this device or through this figure of speech. Here we see description of Atticus in epistle to Dr. Arbuthnot in 1735, willing to wound and yet afraid to strike. This is a very strong statement made by Alexander Pope, and we use this statement still today in various situations. Willing to wound but afraid to strike means he wanted to do something but he is afraid of the same thing. This is the simple meaning of this line. Willing to wound but afraid to strike means you are prepared to do something but you are afraid of doing the same thing, means here you find the contrast of ideas. So getting ready and again getting back from the same thing is contrasted idea, and Alexander Pope very prominently displayed it. Next we have Baron's design against Belinda in the Rape of the Lock. Rape of the Lock is a very famous mock epic by Alexander Pope, and here you have Baron a character and Belinda again a prominent character in the same. So here we have a design or a trait made by Baron, a character in Rape of the Lock. Rape of the Lock is mock epic against Belinda, again a prominent character, and these lines are resolved to win, means Baron is resolved to win. He meditates the way and he finds the way, by force to ravish or by fraud betray. Now he wanted to do something against Belinda by force or by betray. Both the means he wanted to use, means these means are contrasted, these ideas are contrasted here. Next we have an essay on criticism 1711 of Alexander Pope, and it's a very famous line, to err human, to forgive divine. Now you see here, to err human means humans are made to mistakes or humans made mistakes, but it is divine to forget them. This is a very common line used by many people still today, and here he gives you the idea of both the things, forgiveness and to err. To err means to make mistakes, or human beings tend to make mistakes, but those human beings who are above, they forgive, means forgiveness is a kind of quality attributed to God, but a human being when forgive someone, he is considered above the level of common human beings, and hence these two different ideas are incorporated in one statement through the use of a device or figure of speech called antithesis. Here is antithesis, to err is opposite to forgive. And now let's understand the examples of antithesis. Here we have Samuel Johnson's prose fiction called Rasselas 1759, chapter 26, and we have a statement, marriage has many pains but celibacy has no pleasures. Pains and pleasures incorporated in one single sentence or in one single statement, and these are the opposite ideas. Milton's Paradise Lost 1667, characteristics of Adam and Eve are contrasted. Now if you look at Paradise Lost, you have contrasted characters Adam and Eve displayed through the words or lines. Here we have lines, for contemplation he and valor formed, for softness she and sweet attractive grace, he for God only, she for God in him. Now you see here valor against softness, against you have sweet attractive grace. The man or Adam is presented as a powerful figure before you, or he has different characteristics than the Eve. So Eve is presented against or contrasted to the Adam. Next we have John Ruskin's famous statement, government and cooperation are in all things the laws of life. Anarchy and competition the laws of death. So life and death are contrasted with the attributes of government and cooperation, anarchy and competition. So this is a very famous statement used by John Ruskin. Next, we have some simple examples or everyday life examples. For example, man proposes, God disposes, creation and destruction contrasted. Second, we have love is an ideal thing, marriage a real thing. What is ideal? Love is called ideal and marriage is called real. And both are different things. So contrasted here in one statement. Next, give every man the ear, but few thy voice, Shakespeare. A very famous statement. Give every man the ear means there should be listeners, many listeners, but only one speaker, or minimum speakers, more listeners, minimum speakers, contrasted ideas. Many are called but few are chosen, Matthew. It was the best of the times, it was worst of the times. This is a very famous line. It is a opening line of Charles Dickens novel called Tale of Two Cities. And here you have both ideas, best and worst, are presented in single sentence. Better to serve in hell than serve in heaven, again from John Milton's Paradise Lost. So you see, these are the contrasted things, means antithesis is brought about in these lines, heaven and hell, contrast. So you see, dear students, the antithesis as a figure of speech is very simple to understand. Just contrasted ideas are put before us and we find it very simple to recognize. Now I hope you understood what is antithesis, its examples and its meaning. So thank you very much for watching the complete video. Please like this video, share this video among your friends and subscribe to our channel Literature Simply. If you have any problem, any query, you can comment below in the comment section or you can visit our website called literaturesimply.com. Thank you very much.